Good afternoon everyone and welcome to my YouTube channel. So here today we are continuing the topic which is ecology. Now this time we are talking about energy flow. So we must know how energy flows in an ecosystem for us to understand how we are still alive today. So to begin with, the energy flow comes from the primary source of energy. So the primary source of energy is what we call the sun. So the sun, through its heat as well as its reactions, it is able to create energy. So now this energy is only used by what we call green plants, or in other terms you can say photosynthetic plants. So these plants are able to make use of the sun's energy to create food. So as you may know from, let's say, we define photosynthesis to be the process by which green plants make their own food. So it is green plants that form now what we call the level which we call the producers. So now, in an ecosystem, there are what we call the trophic levels. So the trophic levels simply refers to the point or the position of an organism in an ecosystem. Like for example, we might have the primary, the producers. So them being the producers, which means they are the first. They form the first trophic level. So away from that, there is the next trophic level, which is inhabited by what we call the herbivores or the plant eaters. Animals that eat plants form the second trophic level. So they eat plants. So these animals might be goats, cows, giraffes, as well as elephants. So those that are able to eat plants form or occupy the next trophic levels. So the trophic levels go as far as that. So the next trophic level is the third trophic level. This third trophic level is inhabited by what we call the carnivores. So we are moving from the producers, which are the plants, for the first. Then the second one, we are moving to the herbivores or the plant eaters. So the other term that they will use to define the ones that occupy the second trophic level is what we call the primary consumers, because they are the first eaters. They are the ones that eat plants. Then the third one, we have said carnivores, which are simply animals that eat or feed on other animals. For example, this trophic level may be inhabited by the big cats, such as the tigers as well as the lions. So the trophic levels go, they can even go further. Like for example, if that lion dies, or it could be inhabited by what we call omnivores, those that eat meat as well as plants. So trophic levels go on that. But there is one notable factor, or fact, we can say, which is for this transferring of energy, we have, let's say, from plants to herbivores to carnivores. So the sun being the primary source of energy. So the plants make use of the sun's energy. Now, however, of all the energy that the plants have made, only 10% is transferred to the next trophic level. So what happens to the 90%? So the 90% is lost in various life processes. These life processes may include excretion, ingestion, breathing, and other things. So in these forms of energy, energy may either be lost chemically, or it can be lost maybe if an organism is moving from one point to another. For example, the energy is also lost as I am talking. So as I am talking, I am also losing energy. So the energy is lost. So the 90% is lost at each trophic level. So which means to say, of all the amount of energy that the plants have produced, only 10% is transferred. Same applies to the herbivores. Out of that 10%, only about 10% of that energy. In other terms, you can say only 10% of the energy, only 10% is gained at the next trophic level. So this is the way it is. So it is very much important to understand how the energy is transferred. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you will subscribe and follow for more.